and gentlemen, to another action-packed TNA. Yes, we got more of what we had yesterday, more of the same, which is a good thing. Maybe they took a little tone from SmackDown. Maybe it's because Dixie Carter's just not there now, and she's not in the way of progress. It just feels like a better show now. Seeing that they're doing more backstage segments, they're doing more segments that they talk, that they do vid packs, they actually do more character development on the characters. The product is way better. Does it need work? Oh yes, it does. We need more work, particularly that they still need to work on the timing for how they do the backstage segments, their promo segments, their character development, and the matches. Always a show needs to work on that. You never get it right all the time. So let's get started with the match I felt might be the weakest. And that was, I gotta say this, even though I don't want to say this. Brooke versus, what was the woman's name? Brooke versus Delmore. I can't pronounce the woman's name. I don't recognize her. I know she was on NXT one point. I don't recognize the name. I'm sorry if I botch it. So I'm just gonna have to call her Jobber. Doesn't mean she's not a good wrestler, it's just that she's a jobber. The problem I had with this match was simple. It was very tame. Now, it wasn't because Madison Rayne was not making it interesting. And I'm not going to lie about this with Madison Rayne. I might actually put an image of her. I'm going to say this honestly about Madison. Having a knockout as a commentator every single time a woman's match comes out is 10 steps above WWE. If they had done this with Lita, what Madison Rayne is doing is nothing. If they'd done this with Trish Stratus on Raw, they would blow them away in TNA. But because TNA is the only one that's doing this, because there's no women commentators for when the women matches come out, I find this highly refreshing. Yes, I'm not going to say that Madison Rayne is a good commentator. She's not. And the main reason they're sticking them together is because they're husband and wife and they want to work together, period. But taking away from that, I have been very satisfied with it. I do still believe that Madison Rayne needs to have a storyline with Josh Matthews, her husband. That's got to happen. It makes sense. But when it came to Brooke with the jobber, to Delmore, I believe her name was Delmore. Dude, it felt really choppy. It felt tame. And I know a lot of guys are going to say, dude, why are you doing that? Shut up. We want to look. I got to say this as a guy who does reviews and wants to show fairness to both sexes. And I got to say this, and I'm putting it in my face right now. You guys can't see it. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But Brooke's ladies area is very visible. One of the reasons why women wear dark colors most of the time is to make sure their ladies area is not always seen. It kind of makes you a little nervous that I'm not saying that, and I'm taking it away now, I'm not saying that TNA is PG-13. But if you wanted to appeal to everyone, and I'm sure you made the guys very happy, Brooke, letting them see your snatch, I'm sorry for talking like that, ladies, will make guys happy. For women, it won't 100% make them happy unless they're lesbian. And there's nothing wrong with a lesbian. They deserve to have the same enjoyment as a man. But if you want to really show women not being sex symbols every single time, unless it's really good for storyline, Brooke cannot wear that same kind of clothes. She's got to wear something that's a little darker and a little thicker. I know she likes showing her ass cheeks a bit, like most women do, but you can't do that all the time. So I hope she realizes when they show the footage back a couple of weeks ago or a month ago when this was recorded, that she realizes, oh shit, my ladies area is showing. I got to change my ring attire a little bit. There you go. That's what Madison Rayne did at one point herself. She was showing the ladies area. You could see her lips, just like Brooke could. Next, the thing that I felt was good to see, and I'm glad to see it. Storylines for Allie. Allie is now been rejected by Braxton Sutter because Maria has some dirt on him. And there's something else. I'm putting this in my face. Braxton Sutter has a nose ring stud. A stud in his nose. What? Dude, you look stupid. He doesn't look good with a nose stud, if that's what you call it. Anyway, was it good to see a storyline for Allie? Yes. Is it good to see that she's going to have to fight to get her man back because he's being set up for some reason? Good. Maybe a lead for something more than just Braxton Sutter just being blackmailed for some reason because of something bad that happened to him. Or maybe something really bad and we'll get a heel turn for Braxton Sutter. I don't know, but it's good to see it. Oh my gosh. Spud and Lipstick Man, which is Aaron Rex versus Swoggle, and it has to be about Swoggle because that's what they're kind of setting it up a little bit, and Robbie E. Spud is entertaining by himself if he's allowed to be where he is. They're using the same template as they did with Spud and EC3, but in this case, and I could not remember for the life of me the name of the guy that Aaron Rex is imitating. I thought it was Classy Freddie Blassie, and in a sense it is. But Classy Freddie Blassie, from my understanding, I could be wrong, you guys tell me below, he got a little bit of inspiration from one man. One freaking man that he get his inspiration from back in the 60s and 70s. And that was Liberace. I may actually find an image of Liberace and put it on the screen along with this. Because I thought about how is this guy acting like Classy Freddie Blassie. But Classy Freddie Blassie wasn't the guy I was thinking of immediately. It was Liberace. I just couldn't remember his name. But anyway, was this a good match? No. It was a funny match. And it was a rough match on Swoggle. This is the thing I'm glad to see that TNA is doing, but WWE would not do. Generally. Put Hornswoggle in a match with full-size wrestlers, and he has to actually fight. Now, I know the WWE's done it periodically. I'm hoping that he has to do this all the time. Is this going to feel a little awkward? Yes, it is. Because midget wrestling should only be classified in midget wrestling. Midgets shouldn't always be with full-size professional wrestlers because they're a lot more physically stronger than them and bigger than them. They can't do the same moves as they can, and they can easily get hurt much easier. I mean, they are more densely boned. For a little person, their bones are much more denser. Just because they're smaller doesn't mean they're brittle. But they could get easily hurt more than a regular wrestler because the moves have to be more exaggerated. But the thing is, I'm glad to see it. I want to see Swoggle go up against more large wrestlers. Is it going to be fun to see it all the time? No. If they overuse him, we're going to get the same situation as we got with Swoggle in WWE. Let's just hope they do him in a different way other than what they've been doing with him before. I got to do this now. Lashley, and I was happy to see that Eddie Edwards got the title. But as anyone has known me and has looked at my previous videos, I have said it 100%. Eddie Edwards must be a transitional champion. He just doesn't have it as a mainline. I don't want to say he couldn't get it over eventually. If he changed his attitude, if he works on his physique a little bit more, his ring work, and his talking, he could become a top tier main eventer. But as it stands now, he's not. Lashley was never a good talker. We know this. He was always babachy. He never really sounded good. But when it came down to it, eventually he did find his way. And that's why he's so good and entertaining as a heel. He's one of the most strongest heel I've seen in professional wrestling in a couple of years. And I'm not lying. But when it comes to Eddie Edwards, he just doesn't have it. At least not now. Now that he had the exposure. If he's knocked down back into the tag title scene, or maybe the Grand Championship, and he changes his style, he could become a main eventer that we want to see more often. But as it stands now, I want him gone from there. And then, what happened to Davey Richards? We should have Davey Richards going against Eddie Edwards. What happened with Eddie Edwards in that match with EC3? And then Davey Rich is whacking him back. He doesn't even say anything. They don't show it. We need to show that, hey, Eddie, I'm sorry what I did. He said, don't interfere in my matches again. That would have been better than what we just saw here, and Davey Richards running out and saving him like a bitch. That makes him even more weaker as a main eventer, as I just said. Well, essentially, let's be honest, Lashley said it best. You got to have Davey Richards save your ass because you're a bitch. And I don't want to see that. It's just how I feel. Let's see here. What am I forgetting? Alright, we got two last things to do, and that is the race for the case. Look, we know it's Feast and Fire, and they even stated it's an offshoot of Feast and Fire. Just no firing briefcase. But you got 4 briefcases, different colors. I gotta hold off on you know who just for a second. But each case has a number in it. Each person has the right to choose what they want, and then they get it. The other briefcases, you also get what you want, but you can't take the spot of the one that was previously there. So that sticks for that person. So if, in this case, Jeff Hardy, he's going for the World Championship, he goes for a ladder match, no one else can take that spot because of the briefcase. Of course, it's still like Feast and Fire. It's going to be for the X Division. It's going to be for the Grand Championship. It's going to be for the tag titles. We know this. But it's still at least good to see they're doing something similar to Money in the Bank. And Eli Drake. Yeah. Why am I doing that? Because it was Tyrus who was talking. And get this, ladies and gentlemen. You should be pissed off that Tyrus was talking than Eli Drake. But actuality, 2 good things out of it. We got a chance to see if Tyrus can really talk. And he can. He's actually a good talker. Maybe if TNA sees this, why not keep him out of the ring most of the time and have him talk? Have him be the co-host of The Facts of Life and Eli Drake. Other thing, Eli Drake didn't talk. He didn't speak. He didn't mime. He showed how entertaining he is even when he's not opening his mouth. When they got red, that means dead. That means the 4th case. I knew when he picked red, I thought, uh-oh, red means dead in Star Trek. Is this red for dead? This means he ain't getting nothing? Guess what? I was right. Red for dead. Eli Drake, 2017. You can quote me on that. I was upset that he got the number 4 briefcase, but I'm alright with it. Because who knows what they can go from there. Then you got what was going on with DCC. They're not talking now. Someone realized, no talkie. Shut your freaking mouths and act mime and be funny. Bram was funny. Storm was funny. Kingston is stupid. I don't like him. I'm not saying he couldn't get something done, but as he stands, he's not entertaining. So he just seems stupid to me. And I'm not knocking the guy, I just don't like him. They got the number, what was it again? DCC got the gold. And that was, what was that? That was 2. They got number 2, which probably means the title thing or something. I never heard Trevor Lee talk. And they tried to make him a stupid moron. And it was funny. Dummy, yeah. Dummy, yeah. Give that damn case open because you can't open it from the bottom because there's no way to open it. I got to talk for Eli Drake. Eli Drake is my man. I got to talk for him. In the end, he has 3 and Jeff Hardy's got 1. We don't know what anyone is going to do. Maybe they'll talk about in Genesis, which I got to say, 1 week build for Genesis. Maybe they left something on Twitter. Maybe they left something on Facebook. But now hearing it at this point, unless they did this in the recaps in December, because I didn't see anything this month. I didn't see nothing this month. You guys tell me if you saw any type of advertisement for this month. Because it would have been better if they advertised a month in advance. So stupid. And then we get the final thing I want to talk about, and that is the Grand Championship match. I'm not sure what I'm going to call this. Kick to the nuts? Or Drew gets his way? I'm not sure. But did this match feel good? Yes, it did. Did Moose and Drew Galloway have good chemistry? Yes, they did. The promo segments beforehand and the vid packages beforehand, I loved it for the simple reason they showed something. Throughout the night, they showed scenes of everything except for the X Division, which they really need to do something about. X Division for Explosion, please, someone, if you know someone in TNA management, tell them put Explosion on the YouTube channel after it airs the day after, so we can see it on the main page. Please, someone tell them. But anyway, did I enjoy the match? Yes, I did. It was a very competitive match. Drew won 2 matches. 2 rounds he won. That was bullshit. But I understand the reason why they did it. They wanted to set up Drew was willing to do whatever he needed to and kicked. Sorry for the noise. It's noisy today. There's a lot of gangs in the area that like to drive motorcycles. Sorry. Anyway, Drew giving a kick to the gonads was a good idea. Drew giving a Claymore was a good idea. And Drew now has the title that he was supposed to get from the very beginning. Unfortunately, he got hurt beforehand, but in the end, we got what we won. Was this a good show? Yes, it was. Does it need work? Yes, it does. Particularly, there was nothing for the X Division. We really didn't see that much about... Why couldn't they show Rosemary and Jade? Huh? Why did they have to show just Maria and Brooke? They couldn't do Rosemary and Jade? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Please give me a comment below. I'm sorry, like I said, there is no Reality of Wrestling. I think it'll start up in February. The minute they start doing it again, I will start doing my reviews again. Have a good day. Have a good night.